What's up guys, Triple C here. We got the new DLC, so the new car was released, the Progen GP1, and like always I'm gonna do the stunt test with it and compare it to the top stunning cars, which are up to date still, the Osiris T20 and the Zentorno. For guys that are new and might not know how we do it, we always test it on the same stunts we tested the other cars on to have a direct comparison. I don't care what the outcome is, whether it's good or bad, I'm just gonna give you my honest, unbiased opinion, and we're only testing it on stunts. This is not about how it drives, if it's quick or whatever, just how it handles on stunt. Like for example, we had this with the RE7B and the X80 Proto. Like they absolutely sucked on stunts. They both miserably failed the stunt test, even though they're very quick cars around the track. You know, that can happen, that a car might be quick but it still sucks on stunts. Now quick word, just driving this up to LS Customs, customizing it, it was horrible driving it. I have to say that it completely understeers. I'll give you some facts about it. It does have rear wheel drive and it does have a downforce multiplier, so the traction you're going to get in corners is going to be determined by the downforce multiplier, and it has a very hard understeer tendency, so it's very hard to take sharp turns, get around turns efficiently. So also, like performance-wise, don't expect a lot. I don't know if Brophy has this video out yet, but I don't think that it will do very good or that it can keep up with the top cars. Anyways, here we go. Stunt test for the Progen GP1. Let's do this. Alright guys, so first test is a normal double container wall ride. Like always, it's not the question whether it will wall ride, because all cars, including clown vans, wall ride. The question is, how does it feel? And there's some important indicators we can also take from this test. For example, how does it react to the dummy proof it's going to hit before the stunt? And how, for example, does the camera react in the stunt? Does it go on the back of the car so we have a tendency to lose our camera view or not? So yeah, let's just see how it feels on the wall. And of course, this is my first time ever wall riding it. Sometimes you really have to get used to a car. Now it's okay, it was shit on the dummy proof. It's pretty easy to hold on the wall, it's very steady. Yeah. It doesn't have a tendency to lose its view. So yeah, a quick resume. Dummy proof was horrible. I saw that already. We will have problems with that later, I'm pretty sure of that. It was very easy to control on the wall. It was very steady, and the camera was okay. It didn't zoom in on the back of the car. So yeah, that's basically the first finding here in the wall ride test. Let's jump over to the next one. Okay, next test we got ascending wall rides, and this is where it gets a bit more interesting. Now this car has two-wheel drive, it has rear-wheel drive. That's where all the other rear-wheel drive cars, they have a disadvantage on these, because they don't really have that power going up there. At a certain spot they just lose power, and that's also when you lose your camera view. So when the camera just zooms in on the back of the car, you don't really see where you're going anymore. So let's just see how this one does. I mean, with the steering, we did see that it is very steady. Yeah, and this is exactly what happens with the camera view. Okay, I mean, I got over it. I could have just as well fallen off. Basically, any car that loses its camera, you can't use that for stunning, you know. And I know I'm driving with a low camera. I tested all the other cars with a low camera too, so that's why I'm testing this one with the low camera. All other cars that did lose their view, they also lose it in the high camera, because I also tested it with friends. So yeah, I'd give it a fail on this one, because in an ascending wall ride you want to see where you're going, and you don't do that in this car. Okay, next up guys, we got the barge spiral to barge overhead wall ride to wall ride. Basically we're probably going to lose our camera in this one. That's always what we test on this one, and we see if it's slippery, which I don't expect it to be, because it was very steady on the wall at higher speeds. Now we're also going in at a higher speed. We do have the downforce multiplier, which will make it stick basically. But yeah, we're totally losing our view, going totally blind. I was guessing where I am. I know this one, so I guessed it pretty well, I guess. But yeah, definite fail on this one. All the good stunning cars, Osiris, T20s, and Zentorno, Tempesta, NERO, also very good. They almost made it all the way up there with the top ones. They don't lose their camera view, so a fail on this one again. Okay, next up we got the King JMK loop, and now this is one where I expected to make it, because every car made this one, except one exception. The X80 Proto did not make it. So let's see how it does here. Yeah, it sticks to the... No, it didn't really connect to the wall. Well, yeah, but that could have just been how I landed. Anyways, this is not, I mean, this is just always a small extra. This is not something that really counts into the test. It's just for shits and giggles. So, right, next we're going to test it on a red container spiral. And the thing we're looking for in this test is basically if it is slippery, or if you can really yank the steering and still remain on the track. So what I did with all the other cars also, I went up to here and went in it at a low speed. Basically Zentorno, Osiris, T20, they just grip to it, even though the T20 is also a bit slippery, but they just grip to it. The four-wheel drive really helps out there. With the rear-wheel drive cars, they didn't really have the power to get up here and then really grip to the spiral as the other cars did. So that's what we're going to be testing going up here. Let's just go. No, I'm really struggling here, really struggling. Okay, at a higher speed, whoa, we got the checkpoint, did we? No, we didn't. At a higher speed it gets better. At a lower speed I was really struggling there. The other cars did much better. So going at a low speed again. Yeah, it's slippery. I feel how slippery it is. I didn't even get it. No chance there. So yeah, that's exactly the thing I said with the four-wheel drive, which we also saw on the ascending wall rides. Also, if you play a lot of cunning stunt stuff, I mean, imagine all the tubes and all that stuff. You're always ascending somewhere, you know? You're always driving up stuff. And that's basically what these two-wheel drivers are not made for, you know? You need all-wheel drive going up stuff, ascending. So what I'm going to do in this one on the way back, I also did with the other cars. I'm going to yank the steering all of a sudden and see how easy it spins out. So let's go up there and yank the steering. No, it spun out immediately. It went out the spiral. You didn't really see how it spun out because it went out the spiral immediately. But I can tell you it immediately spun out once I yanked the steering. Also here, it doesn't stick to it, you know, like a car like the Zentorno, which is, in my opinion, has the best traction on these spirals. The Zentorno, yank your steering as hard as you want and you will still get through it. Okay, now I'll keep my line here. I mean, that's also always a criterion, for example, you know, like if you know your lines, like I know how to get through a spiral like this, so I will also get this car through it. But if you gotta make a harsh adjustment, you're gonna be out, you know. So if you're a pro and you know your car anyways, you will get through any spiral just like you get through a wall ride. But definitely not recommended. There's other cars that are much better for this. I'd say I'll give it a fail because it just did not really grip to the spiral at a low speed getting up there. It always lost contact to the spiral, didn't grip to it, and it spun out super easily when I yanked the steering. It immediately spun out, so fail on that one. Okay, next up we're testing it on crab slides. Now there's three types of cars, what they can do in this type of stunt. They're the cars that stay on their side, which is good. They're the cars that roll over on their roof, that's also good, you can work with that. And cars that go on their wheels. So let's see what this one will do. Horrible on the dummy proof. No, it goes on its wheels. Yeah, we're just getting through there. But as you saw, you go on your wheels immediately. So a definite fail on this one. If it would have stayed on its side or would have rolled over on the roof, you could have built stunts for it, but this is just not suitable at all. Fail. Alright guys, final test, make or break, Freaky League's Huge Loop Racing number 3. Wait, I'm gonna respawn and take it from the respawn. Yeah. So far only 6 cars in the game can even make this loop, the other ones will not get up there. So far it's only the Osiris, T20, Zentorno, the Tempesta, the X80 Proto, and the Penetrator. Otherwise none of the other cars would get up this loop or get over it. So let's see how this one will do. Oh, not have a good feeling. No, I'm off. I already lost contact with the loop. Looks like I'm still on it, but the car is actually falling. Yeah. So we can give it one more try, but I don't think it will get around it. That's, again, you need the four-wheel drive, and so all wheels help the car get up there to develop that raw power and maintain that power also. And the two-wheelers just don't make it up there, unfortunately. So yeah, a fail on this one. I would have loved to see after it got around how it messes up on the dummy proof, because it will. So all in all, I mean, this car is definitely not recommended for stunting. It failed on every test. One thing I gotta say, I did really like how steady it was on the wall rides. I might try like a single line container wall ride or something, just for shits and giggles, and see. Wait, look, now we can actually get the checkpoint. Go in here as quick as we can, but again, if we would go in here full speed, we'd just be bumped around by these containers and probably flip over like a lot of the other cars did. But yeah, anyways, if you're looking for a good car for stunning, this is not it. Save your money on this one. Total price of 1.3 million. I don't really see where you can have an advantage with this car. Probably any other car will beat this, or not any other, but the top. There's no way it's living up to the top stunning cars. So if you're looking for a stunning car, definitely not worth it. For what it's worth, my feeling driving it, I mean, this heavy understeer tendency at low speeds. At higher speeds, it's not that bad because it has the downforce multiplier. It will actually steer at higher speeds, but not at low speeds. And then again, you always like this hairpin, it just feels awkward, you know? Just anything where you're slow with this car taking turns, it feels awkward. So, probably not the best addition we got to the game. Probably a pretty useless car, which a lot of people will forget again. Definitely from the stunt racers perspective, this car, you won't see any races built for this car or any good stunt races being in this car. So yeah, I might upload a special video. I will try it out on wall rides though, because we did have some surprises there. Like the 811, for example, horrible on stunning. It failed basically every stunt test. I do like it on walls though, you know, like you'll arrive at the wall ride half a minute later because it has such a bad traction. But still, if you get on a wall with the 811, it's just so steady and easy to hold a line with it. That's like a very big advantage it has. It might be similar with this car, so might be fun to get out once in a while and just do a hard wall ride with it for shits and giggles. But other than that, definitely not recommended. Stay tuned, I'll load up a separate video. I don't know if it's going to be today. So yeah guys, I'm just shoving this in this video already. Like suspected, it is actually very nice on walls. I just gave it a quick go. I almost made it first try. Now I just hooked up my Elgato again to show you guys. It is very easy to hold a line with it, in my opinion. Everybody has their preferences there, but I'm doing very well with it. It's just a bit figuring out how to enter this, but once I'm on it, I can basically keep my line pretty easy. Ah, look, I almost made it. But yeah, anyways, maybe for some people this might be fun on wall rides, but further than that, I wouldn't recommend for anything that has to do with stunning. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm out. Peace.